Hey, and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be taking an old concept of picking the correct drum for a track and flipping it on its head and picking a snare drum that I love and that I think sounds good for a certain application and building a song around it to hopefully be complementary to the drum. Now, this video is sponsored by MusicCreatorAI, which is a full suite of AI music creative tools, from song generation to lyric assistance to stem splitting and a whole other batch of features that are becoming more mainstream and useful in today's world. And I know that with that comes a lot of cautiousness and trepidation about the use of AI being a competitor to musicians. But I think for the most successful creative people, they've always been able to encounter new technology and figure out ways to bring it into their workflow to only spawn their creativity into an even better direction. Aside from song generation, there are a few features within MusicCreatorAI that I found particularly unique. The first would be AI song mastering. This allows you to upload a mix of your music along with a reference track, and within minutes, you have a polished audio file ready for release. This certainly can be a lifesaver for somebody like me who's releasing content multiple times a week, getting the most crisp sounding audio within my videos. Additionally, I found the audio to MIDI converter to be a useful tool. Aside from the usual benefits of MIDI, being able to upload a full song and have this tool break apart the track into individual notes could be super helpful for learning parts and musical passages that are hard to hear in the grand scheme of a track. And to add on top of that, you don't even need to have a DAW or program of your own to work with your MIDI, because Music Creator has its own MIDI editor built right into the platform. Now, to get started, the first drum that I want to build a song around is this one here. This is a Ludwig Raw Bronze. It's a drum I picked up last year. It's very similar to a Superphonic, but it's a little heavier, and it just has this like bite to it, a ping and ring, probably from the bronze shell and these triple flanged hoops. Now, what I really love this drum for is like cutting through a larger band and the thick wall of sound you might encounter with like a full funk group. For me, I'm thinking like a horn section, guitars, organ, all of that stuff. So I'm gonna try to build a song around this, but before I do, let's go ahead and take a listen. As you can hear, this drum sounds great. It's quickly becoming one of my favorites that I'm hoping to use more for studio and live work. So let's go over to the home page here, and the thing we need to do is type in a prompt for Music Creator to be able to generate us a song. From what I understand, it's really important to write quality, thoughtful prompts in order to get the best result. And this is something that takes practice, and for both you and for the tool is going to need time to adapt and grow. So like I was saying, I'm thinking a big group sound, a funk track. So I'm going to write upbeat funk instrumental track with horns similar to the band Lettuce, syncopated guitar bass lines with hits on the bridge. All right, so we've got the song, and it is literally called Crisp Lettuce Groove. So I've already put it into the stem splitting software so that we'll be able to pull the drums out and record ourselves playing along with it. But let's just go ahead and take a listen to it as is and see what it sounds like. Oh my God, it sounds just like Lettuce. It sounds like the horn players in Lettuce. The guitar sounds like Schmeens. I don't know if I would say the drums sound exactly like Adam Deitch, but if you told me this was a Lettuce tune, I'd probably believe you. Okay, that is scary how good it is. Okay, so I've dragged the tracks into Logic so that I could record along to them. So let's go ahead and see if we've put a good pairing together of this Raw Bronze snare drum and this funky backing track. My hope is that a platform like this isn't replacing the creative element of writing a song, but for someone like me who's a drummer who doesn't have as strong of a melodic or harmonic background, a tool like this for getting an idea and a launching pad could be really helpful. And I mean, that song is awesome. So I'm not going to steal it, but I'm definitely keeping that one as a play along for myself and for students. Next drum up on the docket is this 7x14 Tree of Heaven semi-solid snare drum that I built myself. My idea with it was to make it like a Slingerland Radio King, so that's the lug appearance and everything. My use for this drum, I'm hoping, is for like big, beefy, ballad, country backbeat stuff. I haven't had to draw on it much yet, but it's a drum that I want to start using more, so why not start today? I mean, I think it's a great sounding drum. I hope that I get to start using it more, but I just don't play a lot of live gigs where I would need that low pitch snare. Aside from church gigs, which I play all the time, but they have a drum there already, so I don't need to bring my own. For the prompt, I'm going to write country ballad with swampy, dark vibes with full band at the top. All right, the song is called Bayou In My Rearview. If that is not a New Orleans country song, I don't know what else would be. Let's take a listen. I mean, this is exactly what I was thinking when I generated it. It should be the intro to like Duck Dynasty or something.
Sticking through the black water, moon just a rusted corn on the dashboard glass. Your picture curls in the heat on the visor. Ashtray full of bad nights I can't take back. I'm leaving this bayou in my rearview, but it's hanging on my tail like a ghost. Every mile marker saying I still see you.
It's amazing that this isn't some chart-topping country song. It sounds just like a bunch of other country songs I know.
But the dark you left don't move. Got the bayou in my rear view, darling, and it's driving this truck.
Country isn't really my thing, but as far as a country song goes, that's pretty awesome. All right, I've got everything dragged into Logic, so let's go ahead and play a little bit of this song and see how we did with the snare drum.
Cypress knees, sticking through the black water. Moon just a rusted corn on the dashboard glass. Your picture curve. leaving this bayou in my rearview, but it's hanging on my tail like a ghost. Every mile marker saying I still see you in the cattails shivering close. Yeah, I'm Bayou in my rearview, darling, and it's driving this truck. Now you.
This is what I think is good about something like this. In my opinion, the snare drum sounded great with the track. I love the fat, punchy, deep snare sound, especially with that, chorus that was kicking. But when it comes to doing the cross stick thing, it just doesn't have enough clarity, in my opinion, at least for me as a player. Maybe I'd be able to beef that up in post, but maybe I would need a drum with die-cast rims if I was going to do something like that. So I think that's some of the benefit of experimenting like this before you get hired to do your own remote drum tracking session. Okay, last drum that I want to experiment with today. This is a 1920s, 100 years old, Ludwig Universal snare drum, 4x14. It is nickel over brass, I think. Anyways, I call this drum my Zigaboo drum, the drummer from the Meters, because when I play this Meters tribute show every year, I always use this snare, and I think it has that kind of like lo-fi, tight, crisp New Orleans funk sound. I've got some muffling on it to tighten it up even more, but let's go ahead and throw it on and see what it sounds like. All right, so for the prompt, I am going to write New Orleans funk like the Meters, led by guitar, but with warm organ pads underneath. All right, so we've got the song, and it is called Frenchman Street Shuffle, which seems very fitting. Let's see how they did. I mean, come on. That sounds just like the Meters. That's exactly how they do the phrasing with the guitar in that band. I mean, again, that is just scary how good it did. All right, you know this by now. I've dragged the tracks into Logic. Let's see how the snare fits into the song. That was a ton of fun. I think this snare drum sounds great. I would love to hear what you guys think. So of the 3 different drums and the 3 different songs, the Raw Bronze, the deep, fat, gushy snare, and the lo-fi funk snare, which one was your favorite, and which one of these songs was your favorite? I know for many of you out there, it's scary, the idea of what's happening with AI. I do think this can be a really productive tool for some musicians out there, and some other people who just have a creative itch but maybe don't have the musical background to get going. So if you're interested in checking it out, I'm going to have some links down below to MusicCreatorAI. You can get started for free, but they have a bunch of different options for pricing and different features you get. So I'd encourage you to check it out, and hopefully it can be productive for you down the road. But until next time, thanks for watching.